Oh, let's go live. Okay, I think we are live. Yes, I got a viewer waiting. I got a like already. That's what's up. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Entrepreneur Weekly Recap of September 19th to the 25th. I am here with you live, here to take on your questions. I even did a poll for those that were already a subscriber. And I said, hey, what do you want me to talk about? For those who are on the poll, maybe you just subscribe. Thank you for all my subscribers. Thank you for my viewer out there. If you have any questions, this is the time where I want to know how I can help you. So let me put in the chat. How can I help you? I want to know, how can I help you? This is the time where I go on live for about 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll go a little bit longer. I can be long-winded at times. But my name is Nathan Webster for those that don't know me, and I am a consultant, an entrepreneur, a full-time dad, single dad, professor, uh, avid golfer, just still trying to figure out that game when I got time to do it. I'm a competitor. I like sports, so um, right. I got to be real on that one to say like, man, I'm not very good at all. But I put a post out there because I wanted to know what did you guys want me to talk about. I asked 4 questions. You want to talk about the you want do you want me to talk about the entrepreneurial daily grind? Marketing was number 2, life as a whole, and golf number 4. And my votes that came in, I appreciate. Even though it was 2 votes, I still got 2 votes, so I'll take those 2 votes. One was marketing and one was life as a whole. So I did have a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about today. And if you have questions, again, let me know. My camera's right here. I got 2 monitors that I'm looking at. So if I go from side to side, just know that's where I'm looking at. And hopefully, we won't have any technical difficulties. We won't have any audio issues in the weeks like we had before. As I'm still learning, error more once and just uh, looks like there's someone said there's a error. Ooh, so let me just make sure that I am good. Looks like we're still going. Um, Okay, we looks like we're still going. Sometimes there's issues, so I never want to like think I'm talking to you, and then all of a sudden realize I'm not talking to anybody because my connection was off. And so and this is just me having multiple windows up. You know how that goes. Or maybe if you don't, the ADD is like, where I'm all over the place. So I it says that we're uploading good. It says that our connection is good. It's amazing all the technical difficulties that come about that way, and all looks good. I don't see I have any problems right now. So let me just get to it, because today I want to talk about this week, which has been crazy. And we talk, as I mentioned, about marketing and or as I put in the post, the 2 things you want me to talk about is my life as a whole and marketing. And I have 4 things that I want to talk about today. Number 1 was IShowSpeed. If you don't know IShowSpeed, I'll talk about that in a bit. Number 2, the AI results are really interesting, can be really off. Number 3 is, can I pick your brain? And then last but not least is number 4 is the Let's Connect conference. So right now, my whole let me see, there's something that says stream health, more than one ingestion per me. And one the back. Let's see, poor. My stream status, it says it's poor. So can you hear me out there? Can I get someone just if I come here, I just want to I want to see something, right? Because this is the only way I have to understand like what is working sometimes, is just to figure out what's really going on. And this, you get to see me live and the way we do things here, because here, let me move my mic so you can still hear me. um I'm trying to figure out how do sometimes I go through the app, figuring out like what is working, what's not working, and this is all part of it. Just so you know, this is also part of marketing. I should be able to come here. And if I see myself, oh, it looks like it is working and I can hear myself. Okay. So we'll just put it right there. I can hear myself. So it looks like we're good. Okay. So if I have that on, I'm not going to be worried about it. So I know that it's on, and so we're good to go on that. So I think we're good. So let me get to what I wanted to talk to you about today. And I'm excited to talk to you about marketing as always. Sorry, let me look at the camera versus me. I want to talk to you about just life as a whole. Life as a whole, starting off with, as a single full-time dad, I have five biological kids, but I have three kids that I've also raised. And man, it is sometimes just like it's a wow. And it's a wow because um, yeah, I can oh, some of my text said, okay, I can hear you a little bit of scratches there, but it's all good. Thank you. It's a wow for the fact that these little kids are like becoming like miniature adults. They're teenagers. The one last year in middle school. The youngest is in eighth grade. My 14-year-old just started high school, and it's just taxing. It's taxing, time consuming. I don't remember school being this time consuming, but as a parent, as a single parent, I'm trying to juggle it all, and it's really hard because I'm not going to talk about the daily grind because that's not what y'all asked for. But with the marketing mind, it's like, how can I continue to be creative? Because what I do is create strategies for others. And so I'm trying to learn human behavior with consumer behavior, which human behavior is not always in line with consumer behavior. So giving me that time to process that as being a dad, I was like, what are you guys doing? Why are you arguing over this? Why are you doing that? So, a perfect example of this is the first topic I want to talk to you about is IShowSpeed. For those that don't know, IShowSpeed is a very popular YouTuber streamer. If you check him out, more than likely he's going to show up on YouTube. He has over 4 million Instagram followers. The last time I checked, on YouTube, he has 44 million YouTube subscribers, which is cray, right? So I just did a little bit of researching about him. IShowSpeed has been streaming since he was 9. He is now 20. And I bring that up because as I'm learning how to do YouTube myself, I have YouTube up, just watching videos, learning, doing research, understanding how to do this, right? Because part of a lot of marketing is making sure you get in front of the people as you build people's funnels. A lot of the top of the funnel is just breaking that attention cycle. Can you get people's attention? Can you raise their awareness? Are you able to capture their ability to you got that attention? Now they're aware of you. Now are they interested in you? Marketing, we call this the AIDA funnel. I've talked to you about that before, but in the awareness, interest, desire, and action, some people are on the app and they're watching you just because they're interested, but they might not be really interested to move forward. But in their interest to move forward, are you capturing their attention long enough to where they will say, you know what, I like this person. She or he is spitting out fire, is spitting out gold. And so with IShowSpeed, I don't know his very beginning, but my kids got me started watching him say, Dad, do you know who this guy is? I'm like, he's the fastest guy on earth. I'm like, is this the dude from, I'm thinking about the Olympics, right? And they were like, no, that he's not the fastest guy on earth. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Let me see. And so I am watching IShowSpeed jump over cars and him racing. He's like, oh, he could have, my kids are teenagers. And so they're telling me all these things about IShowSpeed. I'm like, that's not it. However, he captured their attention. IShowSpeed, right? He's putting up that he's fastest, he's the strongest, all these things. And what's crazy is that when it comes to IShowSpeed, he's saying he's the fastest and he wins, and we can go down that route, but that's for another story. The route I want to go down is the fact that he was in a town just 5 minutes away from Portland, Oregon. He's on a tour, and I put it on Facebook, I put it on LinkedIn, And I was saying, hey, look, IShowSpeed's in town, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't know it. And what was crazy was a lot of people didn't even know who he was in my world, right? He like I tagged him on LinkedIn, but he doesn't post anything on LinkedIn. I tagged him on Facebook. He's not on those platforms, which I think is so funny because people believe like I need to be on all these platforms. No, you don't. You just need to be on the platforms that work for you. If you're on the platforms that work for you, you will be able to then repost, right? You will be able to repurpose that content in a way to where it's going to work for that platform, because on those platforms, the audiences are different. They vibe different. They move different. They look for different things. Again, that AIDA funnel, when we talk about a strategy that's going to work for that business and that business owner, right? Sometimes we say, oh, they're one. No, they're not. This is a person, this is an entity, and you got to find the right vibe that works for you. And so when I think about IShowSpeed, and when I was showing my kids, I say, hey, look, he's in Portland. Matter of fact, look, he's in Portland with the Portland Trailblazer, Damian Lillard. And they were like, I'm like, I thought you like IShowSpeed. Yeah, I do, but I don't like lives. I was like, wait. Marketing, right? Here's where like I never get out again, the human behavior versus the consumer behavior. The human behavior is like, yeah, that's cool. I follow this cat, but as a consumer, I don't like the way he's doing it. So for some people, they love everything about this cat and they like how he does it, but sometimes that does not intersect and it conflicts. So what I thought was really interesting about IShowSpeed, he's doing this. He was averaging about anywhere from 40 to 60,000 viewers at a time. I always say you're looking about 1%, anywhere from 1 to 10% of your engagement. He has 44 million, so he had 1% of his viewers watching him at all times. What was crazy about Portland, again, my life, I took this to a client, and my client was like, who is IShowSpeed? And then it was like, what is he doing in Portland? And then it was like, wow, I can't stop watching it because this is like real TV. I'm like, okay, yeah, we got to jump off of this because it takes you down this hole. It got your dopamine level at a certain level because as a human behavior, right? We're not always running off of dopamine, but as a consumer behavior, we are running off of dopamine, which is a whole nother conversation again. But that's one of the things from uh this week that I wanted to talk about. And so as I transition, the other thing I wanted to talk about was AI, artificial intelligence. When I'm talking about AI, artificial intelligence, I'm also and let me ask the question, because I want to know from you, how do you use AI? Now, you got ChatGPT, you have Perplexity, you have Gronk, you have Claude. There's a lot of different apps out there, and my question to you is, how do you use chat, or excuse me, these AI platforms? And there's a ton more. I'm sorry if I offended someone by not mentioning their app. I thought it was interesting how I was just using AI, as I do every day. These tools are very powerful. But in one of my podcast guests, he says, I can't, oh man, I see his face, but I can't think of the podcast, and I'm not, I don't want to scroll too far and mess up with my internet connection. But I remember him saying, he's a cybersecurity person. Dang it, why can't I think of his name? He was saying how AI hallucinates. If you go in my shorts, you can see him. He wears glasses. He had like a black jacket on, and he was saying AI hallucinates. Well, I was working on just helping one of my clients with some SEO searches, and I was kept finding that in the SEO searches for the AI still did not produce the correct results. The AI was always messing up, not including, like I said, hey, what are the CTAs, the call to actions in this website? And in the website, or in the result of the AI, it kept coming back as no, there weren't any. But then, like, oh, my bad, good catch. I'm like, what? So, y'all, like, again, like, as I'm, in my week, just trying to do things. And sometimes, like, I have my big monitor. Like, I love working from here. At this moment in time, I only have my small monitor, and I was just like, I only had the small monitor at the time. I'm like, I'm getting really frustrated because I can't just say, okay, let me try different AIs platforms to like really churn this thing out. And it was so frustrating because the AI is not as, people say like, oh, AI is going to take over the world. And I'm not saying like, I mean, it is what it is. But right now, AI doesn't even keep track of a lot of what we want it to keep track of, because it's not that, it doesn't have that human intelligence to see, oh, there is a call button for a CTA, but the call button for them is not exactly designed the way we want it. So, I put it in another AI platform and it did catch it, but they did it in a different way. And of course, the result of with the question of the CTAs came back differently as well. So that's one of the things that took up a lot of my time when it comes to the marketing world. And um, I'm grateful that I can understand and differentiate when I'm being sold versus selling. So, in the human behavior, we go throughout this life just figuring out what we want. But in the consumer behavior, we want to be alert, we want to be attractive, we want to feel special, we want to be able to have someone put us on to what we want, and we want to hear people's pitches, and we want to enjoy the process. We want to enjoy being courted. We want to enjoy the fact that I'm special enough to where you want to pitch to me. So, as we scroll and we find something like, oh, okay, they're talking to me. The more they talk to you, right? The top of the funnel, like, oh, I'm interested. He got my attention. She's now talking to me about how this is going to solve my problem. And then, oh, okay, I'm now really interested because now they're really talking to me. And how they're talking to me is as I'm right there, I'm right in front of them, because, right, we're holding this like right here, right? We're holding this like, oh, okay, yeah, they're talking directly to me. Unlike if you're in a store, sometimes you just walking by things until you have a salesperson come talk to you, and then you're like, oh man, what are they gonna be talking about? Oh my gosh. But now, like, you're here, you're not getting none of that, and you just listening, right? You're in the comfort of your home. And as a human behavior, if you're in the store, you're just like, hey, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank you, Miss Lady. I appreciate you. I'm gonna do my own thing, right? But in here, I can say, okay, I'm just gonna listen. I'm like, I can just put this, set it down, what else they got to say. But if I'm really engaged, I'm like, let me click through it. Let me look, let me actually check them out. And then I'm like, okay, this is getting interesting. So this is where, like, I thought with AI, the results, and this is the last thing I want to talk to about is um the last thing I want to talk about is uh the video series I started to do. And so the video series I'm starting to do is, can I pick your brain? So if you haven't seen my latest shorts, please go check out my latest shorts, because I started to put out, I've got to create some more today, so you can see some I'm gonna try to post every day for like 30 days, okay? Y'all hold me to it for 30 days. I'm gonna try to post the can I pick your brain question. Throughout my journey of being an entrepreneur for the last 20 years, for being a nonprofit founder to a for-profit founder, running a marketing agency, running a nonprofit in school, especially in the nonprofit sector, you get a lot of people that ask you about, and then put in the chat, have you ever asked the question? I'm gonna put in chat. Can I pick your brain? I wrote a book. I posted on Amazon on how to be a social entrepreneur, create your nonprofit in 10 days. And I did that because people were coming to me. This is when I had a full-time job. I was raising my 5 kids and the other 3. So I had 8, a home of 10 people in the home, right? I would run my nonprofit on my days off. I would go to work, and I was a retail manager. So I was working like 60 to anywhere from 80 hours a week. And on my days off, I would have meetings with people. Just, can I pick your brain about writing a grant? Can I pick your brain about nonprofit? Can I pick your brain about a program? Can I pick your brain about an event? Can I pick your brain about a fundraiser? All these questions were being asked to me, and I didn't realize at the time that my time needs to be focused on my business. My time needs to be focused on the programs in the business, the things that generate income that allow me to do what I do. And I was just like, I'm just gonna write this book because, man, I'm like, I can't handle this, right? So uh I was getting these questions, and so I was like, I ain't gonna write this book. But now that I have YouTube, I started the series, Can I Pick Your Brain? And this is why also I want to do the lives, because I'm sure you all have questions. I don't see any questions here. But in the Can I Pick Your Brain, uh, it's one of those things that which I'm not saying don't ask the question. Some people will tell you, but when I first started, we didn't have YouTube, where YouTube University was spewing out tons of knowledge. People are dropping so much knowledge and education, and the education that you're learning from these YouTube videos from people that are experts in their field, and they're just like just dropping dimes, just continuously putting out that information so that you can learn immediately. Like what you learn as a college professor, I'm teaching you theory and principles. I'm not teaching you real time application stuff. I do, and I get some complaints when I do, because people are like, I just want an A. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? We don't give out A's in the real world. Another conversation. But when it comes to the real time application, you can get this on YouTube if you just set aside some time every day and you watch 1 to 2 hours of YouTube videos. Look at bakers, look at cooking shows, look at sports, look at how like Steph Curry, like he's teaching people how to shoot, how to dribble, how to train. We didn't have this 20 years ago. I didn't have this when I was growing up. So the Can I Pick Your Brain session, a question that I'm creating on the series, please engage with that. Please share it. Please. And for those that haven't subscribed, please do so. My goal is to be that source of information real time. As you look at right my office, it's not very big. I'm a team of one. I don't have employees. I have subcontractors, and I love servicing my clients. You can find me on LinkedIn. If you haven't found me on LinkedIn yet, please do so. Nathan Webster, marketing, fractional marketing. Oh my gosh, how come I can't say that? Fractional CMO, a marketing consultant. That's what I want to say. I had it there as well, but you should be able to find me on LinkedIn. As I see that we are coming at the 22 and 23-minute mark here, I don't see any questions that are in the chat, but I do want to share out that I have a conference that's coming out. Let's Connect. I don't know if y'all have, or if you're in the area. I know some people are not in the area that watch this, because YouTube is all over the world, which is very interesting. Because let me just, one thing about life. I'm grateful that I have a beautiful fiance. Her name is Grace. I always like to make sure I show her. Her name is Grace right there. Can you see her? Can you see her? There she go, right there. She's in Kenya. She's in Nairobi, Kenya. Not Nairobi, Kitagoya. And I'm gonna put hold on I'm gonna say, here's a link for those that are watching. So oh my gosh, why is this not working? Let's um pnw.com. Oh, and so this is the link to my conference that I have here. This is my 5th year doing the conference. But I want to encourage you to check that out, because now this is 2025. I said this is 5 years. So if you remember 5 years ago, 5 years ago we had the pandemic. Well, like 6 years ago, I did a post, not a post, technically it was a Facebook Live, and I just moved into my office downtown. I was like, man, I want to support business owners that look like me. And I live in a town that's not very diverse, and I have no problem with all people, right? But I'm like, man, the way I've learned how to economically thrive is to support people that I know the dollar is going to stay in this area. And so I have really learned in the last 5 years of running my conferences, we don't do a great job of supporting one another, not because we don't want to, is because we don't know about each other. And so the Let's Connect conference is something that I do every year. And this year, every time after I run the conference, I feel so refreshed. I feel so at peace because there is no hidden agenda. You don't have to code switch. You don't have to put on this fake self. You can do the things that you want to do. And in this fifth year, I'm excited because we're doing so many more things that I haven't done. And it's funny, I used to have it for 2 days. Now I'm making it for one day. I'm putting in a different location. I want to make sure I give people the opportunity to really connect with folks with no uh, pre conceived notion like this is the way you have to go about networking. Like I want to remove that completely. I want to be able to have people move in a way that they don't have to pass out a business card to feel like they're doing something. You talking to somebody and then outside of the icebreaker, you start talking about what is going to help you. And you may ask that question, can I pick your brain about something? And more than likely, that person is going to tell you, this is how I can help you. And or they may say, this is not how I can help you. But more than likely, what's going to happen, the but they may say, you probably want to talk to this person. When I was starting, and this is where my baby comes in at. Let's see, when my baby comes in at, she always says like to me like, all from Kira Goya is real life. Like I'm in a long distance relationship. She's 10 hours ahead of me. She always say, "Hey, I got you. I support you. You know, you'll figure out the answer, right?" And if you have someone in your life to do that, go do that. I mean, you talk to them and like when I was going out and networking, you probably say, Nathan, how is this connected? It's connected because before YouTube, before this, like when I was starting, I was being told to go to so many different people. I was told to go here, and that person told me to go here, and that person said talk to this person talk to that person. I'm like, I am not finding the answers that I'm looking for. And Grace always encourages me to say like, hey, you'll figure it out. And one of the biggest things that we do or not do, however you want to put it, what we don't do when we're trying to seek out answers, put ourselves in an uncomfortable conversation or situation. And sometimes that uncomfortable conversation or situation is just spending time with ourselves, giving yourself that time to reflect it and figure that out. So even my conference, I give you that time to that's why I say like the Let's Connect conference, and I've turned it into more, which is another conversation, but this week has been putting all those things together to where I want to give people a platform to invest back in them, invest back in themselves, figure out what does that look like when it comes to following your passion, following your dream. Because guess what? There is adversity down that pathway as well. Like you are gonna get tired. You will feel alone. You will feel sometimes abandoned, but it's not something you have to do on your own. This is why I created a nonprofit. I have a school account. I'm gonna start promoting that more. So that's what's been taking a lot of my time. And it's funny because as a marketer, I have always poorly promoted my products and my services. But this time I'm not, because I really see the need for people that want to engage, people that want to have relationships with people. I really understand what my purpose is, and I don't need what I thought I needed. And it's funny because you have these preconceived notions that you need all this, and it's like, no, you don't. You don't need all that. But it makes you feel good when you do. But now it's like I'm seeing how I saw one guy I was following. He was like, I bought all this stuff and now I'm selling it because I don't need it. All I need was this right here, right? And so I'm gonna put one more link up there because I think what's really funny about when we talk about what we need and what we don't need, um, I think it's important that you talk to the right people to figure out what you need and what you don't need. So what I'm doing, oh, I didn't see in the chat how the Let's Connect wasn't a hyperlink. So let me do that. And then let me put the link into the conference if you're in the area. If you're not, it's a hotel that you can go to, but I want to make sure it's a hyperlink so you can just go to it. But one of the things that I'm going to start being very intentional about from this week to next week is just start putting these things all together. And that just comes down to building a better business model. With marketing, you have to have a great business model. And I think back to why I didn't promote my products, why didn't I advertise myself more? It was just because I didn't. I didn't. I look like I'm lagging. Hopefully, I'm not lagging. But the reason why I didn't promote myself because my business model wasn't as sound because I was doing 20 different things. I was a mile wide and about an inch deep. Now I'm going a mile deep and an inch wide. So that's what I'm working on now. I see that I don't have any questions. But if you do, comment in the and make sure you comment below. I will get back to you if you haven't already subscribed. For those that have joined me and you just peeked in and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" I appreciate you. I'm liking the fact that I have a couple of viewers that's been on here and jump back in. I'm working on the connectivity. Sometimes it's a little off, but this has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Please engage in the comments. Please engage with others. And I will let me also just share my school account because I do want right now it's not public, but I will make it public because I think it's important that you find the right people that's going to work for you. And it's the Connected Trust. Please check that out. I haven't made it public, but I will. If you're looking for a community of people that are going to support you, again, when I did that Facebook Live, I just want to find people to support that I know that my dollar is going to help invest back into them. When I say back into them, not just them buying a Louis Vuitton or Gucci bag, it's them building up their company, building up let me back up. Let me really say when you invest in people, what it really does, from my experience, it builds their self-esteem. It builds their confidence. When you invest in people and say, I'm gonna buy from you, and when I buy from you, not only am I buying this product, this service, but I'm buying in the fact that you took a risk and you put yourself out there and you are doing what you are supposed to be doing, and I want to see you continue to do that. So I just want to tell you out there right now, if you're watching this, that you're watching this because you're doing what you're supposed to do. Don't give up. Find the right people for you. If you haven't found those people, go to the school, the connected community, the and I say the connected community, also the Connected Trust. That's a nonprofit. Go check it out, and I'm happy to help you. Hit me up again, comment, subscribe. Uh, follow along. I'm here every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, to ask you the question, but may need to answer them. But I'm asking you to get your brain going because that's how I like to do. To say, hey, we in this together. And if you have some questions for me, put them in the chat. And until the next time, I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for watching. Many blessings to you and Godspeed. I'm out.